This video is not meant for children and is brought to you by support from Patreon. Hello, and welcome back. I am Maester Aelix, and this is Stellaris Empires. We are right back where we left off here on the Empire creation screen, so let's create an empire. Alright everyone, this is one of those ones that I totally fell into just trying out new stuff, and it ended up being so good. I am incredibly happy with this. So, first things first, our origin is Subterranean. This civilization may never know why their ancestors migrated below the surface. Was it necessary to ensure self-preservation, or did the promise of bountiful resources allure them? Whatever the case, they successfully adapted, leading to a more environmentally versatile community. And this is the Alarian Commune. Guys, ladies, everyone in between, and everything that isn't. This is just so good. Alright, so let's go into this. Being that they're subterranean, and I'm a cheeky bastard, I went with this dwarf-looking guy because dwarves, underground, it is just, to me, the most basic thing. Why would we not? And I had a lack of humanoids overall. The species name is the Alari, and their objective is Alarian. Sure, why not? Or we'll just go with default. Let it just be whatever gender they want. Don't force anything on them. I went with one of the more interesting humans. I don't like the SPQR ones, but for some reason, the human CM just sounds fun in the right way. The Prudence, the Ragnarok, the Sevaster, the Community, the Annihilator, the Knight. It just, I don't know, feels just that right kind of right, you know? As for their traits, now, one thing, okay, so Cave Dweller. Species minimum habitability is 50%. That's great. Minerals from jobs, 15% up, great. Empire size from pops, 10 plus 10%. Not so great. But we'll deal with it, because also their growth speed is down 20%. That's a workable number. We can work with that. And if you wanted to do a few more traits to, another negative to help give you something to help balance that out, feel free. But I found these three are just exactly what this needs, and no real need to make it different. So I went with Noxious. Species minimum habitability is 30%. That combos, so it's 80%. That's great. Species habitability cap minus 30%. Army damage plus 50%, so another reason why you may want to get strong. Housing usage is up. Non-noxious happiness to non-noxious pops is up by 1%. Happiness per non-noxious pop, not including pops unaffected by happiness, is 2% to a max of 40%. So the ones who are noxious are happier. The ones who are not are less. But it won't matter, because we're just noxious. I always think of this as them, all the carbon dioxide they breathe out just kind of builds up in their atmosphere, and they just got used to it. And traditional. Unity from jobs up 10%, because Unity is good, though any other one-pointer you want to take, that's up to you. But traditional is the one I kind of go for, since I had the extra point left. That's a good one-pointer. Yeah, up to you. I will admit I did kind of hit the random button here, but that's fine. Mishri under the Star of Shar totally works. I went with Continental World, though it doesn't matter a whole lot because we live underneath a continental world. And all our other preferences, including Death Worlds, is at 80%. Now, the picture outside the window is unique to Subterranean, and it is just gorgeous. Do you see that? Do you not? So that's why I picked Room 31. And even though it doesn't matter, I also went with Humanoid City. I think it might matter on other worlds that you colonize. Not entirely certain off the top of my head. So, Subterranean. The effects are Cave Dweller, which we went over, And mining districts are uncapped. We can have as many mining districts as we want. It's great. Orbital bombardment damage to us is down by 75%. Building and district cost is up 10%. Building and district upkeep is up 10%. Planetary build speed is down by 10%. Planetary cosmic storm deviation reduction is down 25%, which is nice. Housing for mining districts is up 2, and since they're uncapped, just everyone lives in mines. Why do I want to have these guys be so short, I wonder? And building slots for mining districts is up by a third. Slightly more than a third. And all we have to be is not a machine. Yeah, seems fair. Alright, our governing and ethics. I went with materialist because research speed is nice, but also fanatic egalitarian because I wanted these guys to be nice. Yeah, I have to be some degree of materialist for relentless industrialists. To live is to exploit. This civilization is built around the principle of living life to the fullest, in the sense of squeezing the maximum profit out of every last ounce of matter and membrane available for exploitation. You can build coordinated fulfillment centers, significantly increasing alloy and consumer goods output at the cost of reduced pop growth and gradually turning the planet into a tomb world. We don't care if it's a tomb world, it's still 80%. It's great. All we have to be is some degree of materialist, and our council position is a person who increases our mineral output by 2%. Not bad. We also have functional architecture. This society is renowned for its simple yet functional architecture. There are those who would refer to these building styles as boring or even depressing, but in most cases, neo-concrete does the job just as well as any other building material. Building and district cost is down 5%, planetary build speed is up 15%, and we have an additional building slot, which is good. I mean, even though the mining ones are uncapped, we still want other ones, and it also helps set off the Subterranean build speed penalties. And their council position is a Maester Architect, which increases the planetary build speed by 2%. So if you have plenty of resources, go and make them faster. If you don't, feel free to put in the Chief Extraction Officer. Now, as I said before, with the Relentless Industrialist, things turning into tomb worlds is just fine by me. Because we'll still be 80%, and that's on the surface. We're below. Plus, it kind of builds into that noxious thing, which I think is great. Egalitarian?
Democracy sure is an endless struggle.
Isn't it? Empire name, or the Alarian Commune. Figured since we're subterranean, we tend to not spread across entire planets, but just have one mega city underneath. Alright, for the flag, I went with this blocky downward arrow indicating, subterranean, along with the background of a big downward arrow. And the fact that it's two different downward arrows that don't line up actually feels pretty good to me. And I went with the yellow color that I found in the window, and brown just felt appropriate because, dirt. And I didn't want it like super dark brown, more of a light brown. And being humanoid, we have these beautiful humanoid ships that just has this sleekness to it. I was tempted to do Lithoid because of the Subterranean thing, but nah. Plus, they are themselves humanoids. So I figured, humanoid works. Ooh. Their Colossus is scary. Anyway. Ruler. I just went with the random name. Fine by me. And that's how we sound to others. Hairstyle, I went with 6 out of 15. For those who have seen my face, I have a set of mutton chops that includes the mustache, and this was the closest I got because I think that's cool. And the clothing, I went with what to me felt like the best combination of like survival suit, but also not super industrial. It's got some beauty to it, plus the light bars match the windows, so I figured that's all great. Ruler trait, we went with Principled. We want to give a little bit more stability because we do have that Empire pop issue, so a little more stability will keep everyone happy. So let's get into the game and get you some tips and tricks. While other beings on Mishri would spend their nights outside in the wilds, our ancestors soon learned the wisdom of underground dwellings, shelter from harsh light and climates. Easy access to the below-ground minerals allowed our Illyrian predecessors to industrialize, unifying our space and furthering our cavernous civilization. There were numerous attempts to return to the surface, but each time it proved brutal and unforgiving, so we remained below, establishing our new dominance with our planet's foundations. Now, with the discovery of our first hyperdrives, we make our boldest attempt yet. Just as our ancestors did in the darkness below our surface, we must now carve out homes in the void between the stars. Beautiful. I love it. Alright, so on our starting planet, we have the Coordinated Fulfillment Center, so it will eventually turn our planet into a tomb world. But you know what? We don't care. That's entirely fine. Go with it. Have fun. Alright, so we got our first traditions available. As always, there's a lot of good options, but for me, these guys are, since we want to find as many planets as we can, discovery is the way to go.
Agenda available.
And, of course, charting the unknown also helps. So that adds, also map the stars, which I'm going to put on right away. Alright, we've established our first colony, and while I would love to build one of those administration buildings, the Coordinated Fulfillment Center, we do need the planet to have a planetary administration on the planet, so we need a bit more population. Oh wait, resettle. When we can. We've gotten far enough in the game that we got our first Ascension perk, and whatever you like for these guys is up to you. However, with the ability to just manipulate any planet to being 80%, the terraforming route does give us more planets, so, you know, that's really good. Though, being dwarves, you could also go with the Mega Engineering, or any other Ascension perk you like. The Biology one would also help us work with the Noxious thing, work with those, but Mastery of Nature, I'm going to go with this time, because I do want the additional building slots when I have enough influence to get them. Alright, now that we're going on to our other traditions, another one I can highly suggest, since we are going to want as many planets as we can, is... where is it? Expansion. That'll help us with our
agenda
many issues, including empire size from planets and systems, which, you know, also helps. We got our pop growth speed bonus, additional pops, all of the star-based influence cost is nice. Expansion is just a real good one. Once you have discovery, find the planets, populate the planets. Well, this looks like it's about time for me to conclude this video. I've given out all the major hints and tips. Build the specialty building, turn the planets into death worlds, we won't care. Everything's 80% habitability anyway, so everyone's happy, everyone can live anywhere. Spread and go wide. That's what this is all about. So that being said, here's where I'm going to say thank you all for joining me. I really hope you're enjoying this series as much as I'm enjoying making it for all of you. If you do, you know what to do, and that's to like, comment, and of course share these videos around, and of course subscribe. It's a little click for you, but a really big deal for me, and I greatly appreciate everyone who does. And speaking about everyone who does stuff, also check out the links down below, because that's where the really good stuff is, including a link to my Patreon campaign, where there's a lot of really cool rewards, including early access to all my videos, so go check it out. You might even like it. And with that being said, I shall see you all on the next one. And I'd like to give a special shout out to all my patrons who help make these videos possible. Aaron Smith, Brian Pelfrey, Chris Armstrong, Dennis Detman, Harry Thompson, and Mark Milius. Thank you all so much for your contributions. I wouldn't have this channel without you. Thank you very much.